Hi guys, today I'm going to do another video game reading video, only this time it's going to be in Far Cry 3, because what I thought I'd do is read from the handbook. Because over here in the survival guide we have all this stuff we can read. There's people, factions, locations, weapons, transport, wildlife, plant life, and that's it. And then over here we have, in very short, the story. So I think I'm gonna start with this, in case some of you haven't played this game or don't know what it's about at all. So, the story. When the skydivers approached the island at terminal velocity, it looked like paradise. A lush green dot growing larger in blue Pacific waters. But when Jason and his friends landed, they found hell hiding beneath the jungle canopy. Now Jason must rescue his captured friends from two insane warlords and their numerous soldiers. Luckily, he doesn't fight alone on an island where hero and hope have become four-letter words. From a beautiful rebel leader to an unconventional doctor, Jason will need all the help he can get to save his friends and himself. Okay, that was the story. Now for the rest of the video I think I'm going to read the people. There may be some slightly offensive things. I don't know. I remember some of the animal descriptions were bordering on offensive at times, but it's not really rude. Just I thought I'd warn you. So in the people section, we begin with Buck Hughes. I know what Buck's problem is. He grew up in British prison, aka Australia. Bambi Buck Hughes joined the Australian Armed Forces in his early 20s, but was dismissed due to his fixation on brutality. He then traveled across the South Pacific doing contract work, and eventually fell in with Hoyt Volker. Next up we have Citra Talugmai. I've never managed to get inside the main temple, so most of my experience with Citra come from the townspeople and their stories. They call her a warrior goddess, and she's definitely a looker. I know that she's resisted Vaz, Hoyt, and their pirates every step of the way. Next is Daisy Lee. your deceased brother Grant's girlfriend. Daisy Lee grew up in Maine before attending school in Los Angeles. She swims professionally. Question is, will that help her get off the island alive? I guess probably at this point I should say there are pretty heavy story spoilers, so another warning, I guess. Dennis Rogers. From what I can gather over the wire, the man who calls himself Dennis Rogers was born and raised in Liberia. He immigrated to America at the age of 18. 10 years later, he left for reasons unknown. After drifting from job to job, he found his way to Rook Island. Dr. Alec Earnhardt. Dr. Alec Earnhardt, a chemist, and I use that term more loosely than a halftime performance at a football game, makes his living producing and selling drugs on the black market to pirates and privateers alike. Newspaper records show that he left London for Rook after his 2-year-old daughter, Agnes, tumbled out the window of his 10th floor apartment. It's a very tragic turn of events. Grant Brody. Sorry about your brother. I know he served in the Army Reserves. His country is proud of him. It was very short. Hoyt Volker. I've spent decades combining Hoyt's dossier. Here's what I know. He runs the largest slave, drug, and weapons trafficking rings in the South Pacific and commands his own private army of bloodthirsty mercenaries. He claims to be from a mining background, but there's no proof. In fact, no one knows where the guy actually comes from. Heck, pardon my French, he could even be from Colombia or a big oil company. Jason Brody. This is the protagonist, so you play as him. When you first escaped from Voss's prison camp, I did my research. Jason Brody, from Los Angeles, great grades, an athlete in college. Only odd jobs after graduating. Last year alone registered for 6 skydiving trips, 2 parasailing, 4 mountain climbing, and 7 snowboarding. You're a daredevil, huh? Father's dead. You have a younger brother, Riley, and you had an older brother, Grant, now deceased. Keith Ramsey. Your friend Keith Ramsey, the eye banker. In college, he was a member of the DKC fraternity. Did you know he was caught cheating on several tests, but his pops bailed him out? Also, he has subscriptions to over 20 online porn sites. The more you know. Liza Snow. Your girlfriend Liza Snow, student council president at UCLA, up-and-coming Hollywood actress. A couple of parking tickets, nothing else on file. You should introduce me. I'm sure we'd get along. Now that I think of it, I don't really know who is the first person in all these files. I don't know who's telling us all this. Okay, next, Oliver Carswell. Your extremely rich friend Oliver Carswell. Dad's a venture capitalist. Oliver was arrested several times for drug possession, once for dealing. Sounds quality. Riley Brody. Your little brother Riley. Bet you miss him, huh? That's your weakness. Don't let it get to you. I may miss my country, but I'm not losing my mind climbing up a skyscraper or riding whales bareback. Stay focused. Sam Becker. I sent them out. Days and weeks went by. No one returned. They're gone. The jungle took them. Vaz Montenegro. This is one of the two main villains, but I'd say definitely the most popular one, or the most well-known one. Nothing's certain when it comes to Vaz. Close observation shows that he's violent and unpredictable. Rumors indicate a past connection to the Rakyat. Now he works for Hoyt Volker, the slave and drug trafficker. Not exactly Santa's little helper. Did I mention he's addicted to drugs? And he has your friends? Willis Huntley. This data is classified. You didn't think it would be that easy, did you? Okay, I assume he's the one speaking in all the files. I think that would make sense. And lastly, the ASTRID incident. 6 months ago, an international incident occurred on the SS ASTRID. Specifically, the captain sold the boat to Hoyt Volker. Passengers, the safe, everything. Talk about your all-inclusive cruises. 4 desperate crew members, Trisha, Callum, Leonard, and Mikhail, escaped. I would let you know what happens, but something tells me you'll want to go find out for yourself. Alright, I think I have time for one more thing, and since this is only 3 documents, I'm going to read these ones as well. So these are the factions. The Rakyat. The Rakyat have lived on Rook Island since the island's inception. Like the rocks and sand of the beaches, they are survivors. the keepers of secrets. Very few are allowed into their culture, and even less invited to join the ranks of their warriors. Voss's Pirates. This is the tale of Voss's pirate hordes, who come to the island to rape, pillage, and steal. They wanted one thing. They wanted money, and it would be theirs, no matter the cost. Voss holds court, the jester of Rook Island, but is your machete what lies in store? I don't really get that last sentence. Okay, lastly, Hoyt's Privateers. This is the tale of Hoyt's privateers, hired guns with hearts full of lead. Some hail from armies, some recruit raw, all intend big profits from the end of your life. They are the true power on the island, and finally now I'm sick of this song. Again, that's a very weird ending to this document. I guess the guy telling us all this is just a little funny in the head. Okay, those are all the documents I wanted to read today. I think in the next video I'm going to talk about the wildlife and the plant life, because those are the two most interesting ones in my opinion. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and good night.